All right, well, we're back, and we've got something brewing. I'll use air quotes like I do on radio, brewing, because we don't have much. Tropical storm Ida is actually formed late in the week, became a hurricane briefly, and now it's back to tropical storm status. And, you know, we're getting into November, and I'd have thought we'd be done with the hurricane season. Come on, Tim, where's the ba-doom? I'd have thought we'd be done. 45-mile-per-hour winds now as Ida continues to head on off to the north at 8. So slowly moving on off toward the north. I think some tropical storm watches came up for western Cuba and parts of the Yucatan, meaning within 36 hours you could see tropical storm conditions, gusty winds, heavy rain. And if you are plotting, if you forgot, latitude 17.1 north, longitude 84.1 west, and winds, as we said, at 45 miles per hour, 1,002 millibars. So we do have a tropical storm, and we're still in the Atlantic hurricane season, and it does not end officially to the end of this month. True story. And we'll continue to see Ida head on off toward the north. And then, you know, as you get out early next week, you know, you're talking 1, 2, 3, 4 days away. That's when you start getting into a little bit of discrepancy in forecast guidance. But right now, best track of Ida is in and on up toward the north, and then early Monday morning sitting somewhere in the southern Gulf. And then the question is, you know, how far to the east does it turn, or how far to the west does it go? But still, a tropical storm then may become extra tropical as a front's coming down from the northwest. So we'll have to watch exactly where Ida goes. But the best forecast right now is kind of right down the center of the cone. So, you know, if you're watching early this morning, anywhere from Louisiana on off toward the Florida Panhandle, west coast of Florida, you know, at least put in the back of your mind that early next week, Monday, Tuesday, you know, there could be, let's say, an event that could bring some wind and rain. So if somebody said, Ray, I need a forecast for the Gulf Coast, let's say Mobile, or let's say Tallahassee for next week, I would say, well, expect windy conditions, 30, 40 miles per hour, expect some rain too. So that's what I would tell you today. Now, we all know that could change. Dr. Steve Lyons will be here today through the weekend to update us on this storm, 50 past the hour, and probably multiple times a weekend view, 7 to, I believe, 11 now. But, you know, at this point, looks like we do have a tropical storm heading north that does strengthen a little bit. We do not think hurricane status, but we'll continue to see it head on off toward the north and then eventually make a jog toward the northeast. So here's tropical storm Ida, and you can see convection trying to get going again around the center of the storm, and that's that deeper red and a little bit of purple even coming in there. So maybe a little burst here of convection, but we'll continue to see this storm strengthen slowly. At this point, the forecast isn't for rapid intensification, but we'll watch it pretty closely and see if that changes. And it moves on off toward the north, and then eventually just east of north, excuse me. Rest of the Atlantic, as it's been most of this tropical season, pretty quiet. I mean, even out here toward the central Atlantic, you can see we have what we've had all year. A lot of westerly shear, a lot of westerly winds. So really not too much else going on. But, you know, we do have something that could impact parts of the Gulf Coast. Once again, there's Ida, as you can see. There's Cuba, and there's South America and the coast of Florida. So we do have something that we could be monitoring, we will be monitoring, could be an impact out across parts of South Florida, maybe even on into the Gulf Coast as we head into early next week. So that's the timeline, and we'll have plenty of updates to see if any of that changes. Once again, western Cuba now, I believe, under a tropical storm watch. Starting to see some of the cloud debris come on in, and we'll probably see the rain starting to pick up later this afternoon. And right now, it doesn't look like we're going to see anything imminent here out across South Florida, around South Beach and Miami. But into the Keys, as we head through the latter part of the weekend, conditions may start going downhill just a little bit. We'll have to see exactly how big the wind field ends up being, how close to the Keys and the southern Keys here, especially around Key West, the center of Ida actually gets. So that could mean a little bit squally weather as we head on through maybe Sunday and Monday. So a little bit of a concern, but for the most part, really not all that much to worry about. And as we get into the rest of the Pacific here, we go to the western pack, because this has been pretty busy also through this season in the Pacific. And the good news is that things have quieted down quite a bit. A lot of blue here showing a lot of open ocean, and things are looking pretty good. Even in the Philippines, where you got racked pretty good during this season. So we've had some pretty interesting weather. It looks like that trend's going to continue. And we go in the East Pac, and it's quiet too, just a cluster of thunderstorms here well off the coast of Mexico And then once again, we've got Ida back here just hovering off of Central America and starting to, looks like starting to fire up a little bit here as we head on through the early morning hours with a little bit of enhanced convection. So that's the system we are going to be talking about. We'll continue to watch it as we head on through the daytime hours today and right on through Sunday and into early next week. And once again, emphasizing if there is an impact to the lower 48, which it's starting to look a little bit more imminent, it's probably going to be a wind rain event. Now, not strong or hurricane force winds, but enough wind out there that you know it, and maybe some decent rains, especially along the Gulf Coast. And then actually some of the guidance pushes it further toward the north and then starts suppressing it down to the south as a front comes in and tries to sweep it away. So watch Ida. That's the really big show. We've got beautiful weather out across the northeastern part of the U.S. and we've got Jeff Morrow, Alex Wallace coming up again. Goodbye.